welcome to another top radio experience right here on Flow 94.9 FM. It is the Flow of God's own state. Still part of our morning show right here, the one we call Morning Spice, of course, the Wednesday edition. We're live on Facebook already. You can join the conversation. Of course, interesting time we found ourselves right here in this country. So many things happening, and we need to keep a tab on what is happening so that you can take better decisions in the nearest future with our analysis. Welcome to the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM, serving you a menu of elevated conversations in a frank, easy, but intellectually stimulating manner. My name is Michael Oni. Now, this morning we're talking politics. So much is happening, especially in the polity right here in Abia State ahead of the 2023 general elections. The issue of zoning is playing out again. This is not the first time it is playing out. Looking at that Charter of Equity as put together by the founding fathers of Abia State, and there is this agitation of Old Aba, Old Bende zone, the senatorial district. Where should the next governor of Abia State come from? Who should be the next governor of Abia State, and where should the person come from? So much is happening, but we will keep it up on you on those issues, and of course share them with you. Our ears are very much on ground, but let's delve into the conversation we have today, even as we look at the political development in Abia State. I have a stakeholder in the studio that talk about someone that has been in the politics for donkey years, if I may put it that way, a former lawmaker representing Aba North, Aba South federal constituency. That was between 1999 and 2003. And also a former governorship aspirant in 2007 and also 2011 under the People's Democratic Party, Chief Honorable Tony Enwereuzo. Honorable is very much with me in the studio. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us this morning on the platform on Flow FM.
Good morning.
Thank you. It's your first time in Flow FM studio. You're welcome on board.
Thank you.
Let's begin with the events happening in Ebonyi State before we come back to Abia State. This is the first time we're seeing a court sacking an executive governor outside electioneering period, outside the tribunal, and despite the immunity that covers an elected governor. What do you make of the events playing out in Ebonyi State? The defection of the defection of politicians from one party to another. What do you make of this?
Well, this is the first time Nigerians have seen the courts play their role.
Okay.
It is clear in the Constitution. You have a right to leave your party, but it's not before. It's not after you've been elected on a particular platform. The platform that you use to run election remains, but there is a proviso. If there are crises of monumental dimension and the party is no longer stable, you can defect based on the current events of the time these crises are taking place. But if there's stability in the system, maybe you see this particular party that sponsored me into a victory, you no longer want it, you think there is a better expediency you can use, and then you run from that party to the other one, then it's against the letters of the Constitution.
Okay.
You can't jump at your will, abandon those who elected you, and go to another. So what has happened now has thrown a lot of light to Nigerians, so that you be careful before you take a party platform. Be sure of what you are doing. In our system, we don't have independent candidate. You must be sponsored by a political party. They don't spend their resources on you for you to leave and go. So the courts are now rising to the occasion, standing up to what is right. So as far as I am concerned, what the court has done is the correct thing.
It must have a wider implication for politicians, especially the kind of politics that we play in the country. You may be in this party today, tomorrow you will be in another party, running with the mandate of the people. although it has not been specifically stated in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, neither has it been stated in the Constitution of the political parties.
No, the party that sponsors you to an election,
Yes.
you don't jump. There is a proviso for on which you can really leave one party to the other. It is stated. It's not that it's not. It's there. It's there in our constitution that you don't go from A to Z after you've won an election under one platform. So when that happens, it's just like when evil is allowed to stand, we begin to think is right, which ndị Igbo say arụ ala gba afọ ya wụ omenala.
Okay.
For a long time, people have been running from one political party to the other after they've won an election. Nobody has really challenged this seriously, but now people are serious. And what has happened to the governor of Ebonyi should happen to even house members who have jumped from the party that sponsored them to another party. That is when we begin to have sanity in the system. We are no longer talking about political parties. We are talking of platforms. People are no longer serious about what a party represents. And when they say a party is supreme,
yes,
it's because it has all that it takes to discipline you, to do all manner of things for instability. But these days, check all the politicians who are, including yours truly. I went from APP. It was when APP collapsed in the state that I went to PDP. I never ever left PDP. The two elections I ran it under PDP. So why should we not adhere to what the letters of the law said? So what has happened now is a wake-up call for many others.
All right, let's move on. Come back to Abia State. So much to be discussed. Of course, it's a developing story, talking about the issues, the development in Ebonyi State. Let's come back to Abia State. Consultations are ongoing. We've seen politicians aspiring to become the governor of Abia State. That's the top job for the state. Who will steer the ship of the state? But before we get to that point, let's talk about the state of the polity in the state. Are the right politics being played in Abia State, looking at the opposition and also the major party, the type of politics that will bring development to the state? Are we playing the right politics in Abia State?
Like many states of Nigeria, if we have been playing the right politics, the speed at which our development should be going would have been a lot more. But because we are not, and we have to be honest about it. The politics we are playing has been individualistic or ethnic or parochial, in a form that if I don't know you, you are nothing. Development of the people has taken a backstage. It's the development of individuals, certain individuals, privileged individuals, that has become the norm. And that is why we have stunted growth across the country, not just at the state. Yes, you can say there are many things that have not been done well here,
okay,
but it's also peculiar to many other states. So I wouldn't say it's because of the way Abia is, or what Abia has failed to do, or what he has not failed to do, but it's because the system in place gives so much power to the operators that they do what they want. There are nobody who is checking and say, hey, Mr. Governor, this is what we think you should be doing, or Mr. Speaker, this is what the House should be doing. Nobody. So you look at...
Well, we have opposition parties that should keep the ruling party in check.
That is correct. But
are they doing their job?
They are not. They are not. The opposition in Nigeria that is why people jump from one party to the other. Because if there was a viable opposition, people won't jump. You stay there and bid your time and ensure that you will now form the next government. But we like to flow from where it go into where it where it's happening. And where it's happening is where the power is. Where the power is where the money is. That is the bane of the current.
So are you saying that opposition parties appearing moribund after election and appearing so active during electionary period is affecting the polity in the state?
Yes, because all these people you see wanting to hold one office or the other, they are looking for platforms. They are not looking for political parties. Let me give you an example. In 2015, Abia won about 11 seats.
Okay.
PDP won 13.
That's in the House of
In
Assembly.
the House of
Abia
Assembly.
State House of Assembly.
Within 6 weeks of inauguration, Abia lost 6 to PDP. How can you, in which climb does this kind of thing happen? By the end of the 4 years, everybody there, minus 3, I guess, now I think 3 left. All others had jumped boat to the ruling party. What are they looking for? Positions. The goodies of politics. That's not how you play politics.
All right. In case you just joined us, it is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, right here on Flow 94.9 FM. Interesting conversation we're having right here concerning the political development in Abia State. I have been speaking with Honorable Tony Enwereuzo, a former lawmaker representing Abia North, Abia South Federal Constituency. That was between 1999 and 2003. A former governorship aspirant right here in Abia State, of course, between 2009 and that's 2009 and 2011 under the People's Democratic Party, which happens to be the ruling party in this state. So let me ask you, holding the administration in power accountable might not necessarily be the left for the opposition parties to do. What about the masses? Are they holding their leaders accountable, especially right here in Abia State? Before we delve into some of the party politics, the intrigues playing out ahead of the 2023 general elections right here in the state.
Well, to some extent, yes. That they complain and complain. And my attitude is not for you to complain. My attitude is for you to think of the next round of election and then join together and remove the people you don't like or who have not done well.
Okay.
When you complain, there is what they call settlement syndrome that you goes around. When you cry so loud or shout so loud, not cry, there seem to be people who reach out to you and say, hey, hold the brake, my brother. And by the time you know it, that same individual who was shouting so loud is now talking soft. So the government or whoever are in power can do whatever they want because the people themselves indulge in complaint, not action to change things. The real action is prepare for the next election and change whatever you do not like.
That's the action.
That's the action of the masses. That's what they should be doing. It's not to complain, insult government. Yeah, hold it to yourself. You know that a time of reckoning will come. Time of reckoning is now that elections are about to come. You bind
they might not be able to bear the pain till the next election, waiting for 4 years.
Well, they're not going to die because look at since 1999 we've been in this. What have we gotten out of it? You continue to try. We continue to bind together. One day something will happen, something will give, and what you are looking for will come to play. It's not by insulting government, as I've said before. You don't insult people.
Okay.
You interact with government in your own way by saying, okay, if you don't like what people are doing, you wait for them at the polls. That's what is happening. That's what happens in other climes. You wait for government that has not performed in the polls.
Okay, a very personal question here, Honorable Enwereuzo. How will you assess the PDP-led administration in Abia State?
My dear brother, is like an elephant that is being going to be accessed by blind people. It is the part of it that you touch that you will talk about, because you are not seeing the total picture of what is happening. There are people who are happy some roads have been built in their place. Some people are happy that schools are being renovated in their place. Some people are happy that their family members are in government. So you can't, in the society we are in, and say this is what ought to, I mean, this is what should be or what should not be, because what interests you may not be the one that interests me in the politics of the state. So for me, whatever is happening here has been a gradual build-up since 1999 up to today.
So whatever we're facing in Abia today, they didn't start today.
No, it didn't start today. It's been a build-up over a period of time. I've lived here, so it's like this is where we are. If the foundation is strong, you can add more to it.
Okay.
If the foundation is weak, unless you dig to that foundation and start over, that house will collapse.
Honorable, Abia will be 31
Yes.
in August. Can you say we are where we are?
Where?
If we are where we are, that we are where we are meant to be. Let me just
No.
that.
No, we are not.
For a child of 31, and
Well,
looking at what is on ground.
I said we are not.
Okay.
We can do that.
Where are we getting it wrong then?
Well, we are getting. I told you that. Well, the first set of people were the military, okay, and each administrator there was. I don't remember anyone that lasted up to 2 years. Then Ogbonnayanu came.
Yes.
Lasted for 22 months and left. And while Ogbonnayanu was here, his eyes were up there looking for president. He was a presidential. In fact, he was more into a presidential aspiration than what was happening in the state. Then came the government, the civil government.
Yeah, in 1999.
In 1999, then we started off. Too many things have gone wrong. That is that same foundation that I'm talking about. At some point, this foundation has to be dug up and repaired, or we put good pillars to reinforce it and take it up. For now, if it's the same way, you cannot continue to do same thing, same way, and expect to get different results.
All right. It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state. We're looking at political development in Abia State ahead of the 2023 general elections, and we've been speaking with Honorable Tony Enwereuzo, a former lawmaker representing Abia North, Abia South Federal Constituency. That was between 1999 and 2003, and also a former governorship aspirant in 2007 and 2011 under the People's Democratic Party. Let's talk about 2023 proper now. So much of agitation, so much of intrigues playing out. The former governor of the state, Chief T.O.G., is popularly being referred to as father of equity because of what he did then, according to some analysts saying that yes, he took the power, of course, handing over to the incumbent Dr. Okeze-Ekpeazu, being from the old Aba end of Abia State. Now it looks like the same intrigue is playing out as we speak, because consultations are ongoing. People are already declaring that I want to become the governor of Abia State. But the intrigues playing out here is that in the area of zoning, the rotational arrangement, especially in your party, the PDP, there is said to be a gentleman agreement, unwritten anyways, according to the Charter of Equity by the founding fathers of the state. Now, the intrigues playing out here, as you know, is it going to be a senatorial zone, according to the senatorial zone, or according to the clans talking about Old Aba and Old Bende?
Well, it depends on where your interest is.
Okay.
That's
the listener interest, not
yes,
my interest.
the interest of of the public.
Okay.
If you are from Bende, that is from Obakala to Aruchukwu,
Yes.
you will say you will not want to listen to the truth. You will say, the senatorial zone. But let me correct one thing. When they say Ochendo is the father of equity, I disagree. He's not father of equity. He did not allow power to go there because he was being charitable to people of our zone. He had no choice. When every section of Bende, old Bende, had been in power, where else was he going to take it to? Was he going to deny local government opportunity? What he may have done is he did the obvious. But in talking of equity, he didn't do anything extraordinary. He did what he should do at the time. That is the truth. But now let's leave that matter, because these arguments, these arguments don't have a flow.
Okay.
Look at what the truth is. There is Bende group. There is Aba group. The Aba group starts from Tega to Okwa. Bende group starts from Obakala to Aruchukwu. And we are brothers with distinct language and culture. None is the same. It's a natural thing. If you were a town planner like I am, I read town planning in my first degree before I went to business school. All boundaries are done by natural phenomena. You don't
maybe by river.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying.
Trees around.
Exactly. The people and the culture and all that. Now, if you say that is now senatorial, how do you aggregate 3 from here, 3 from there? Ochendo went to become the governor. Well, the flow came from Bende and stopped here. And you say, it's senatorial. That the Ishalangwa North, South, Osisioma are being represented by Ochendo. Said by who? He can't represent me. He was the governor at the time. It just happened that it came and stopped here. If at the time Ojozo Kalu left power, he sent it to the other side, now we'll be talking of the proper natural flow. Our brothers we take, this other side we take. We are being economical with truth when we say it's senatorial. Remember, there was a time we had 5 senators in Imo State. Do you then say that this senatorial zone that interfaces with this is now the boundary? The people have remained constant. Political maps have remained have at one point or the other been changed due to the politics at the time. If tomorrow a new constitution arrives to create 10 senators in Abia, does it mean that each senatorial district will have a shot at governorship? The normal thing, let's also be honest, is that when the people are growing, they have a period of growth, the teething problem, get into some level of adolescence before they get old. But in our system, we have refused to grow politically because what we look for in politics is about self.
Okay, I'm going to return to the issue of rotation. Well, let's talk about competency and rotation. Which one is important? Because it seems we are so much concentrating on the issue of rotation as we speak, because this was what played out during the last general elections. I'm talking about the first time Dr. Enwereuzo was seeking to be elected as the governor of the state. That was in 2015. The same issue of rotation where he should go to also was playing out then. Now it is playing out again. So Competency and rotation, which one is important?
Well, it's like a chicken and egg. Chicken and egg, which one came first? You have to. We have seen very many incompetent rulers. We have also seen many competent rulers. The truth is, given where we are today in our development, both, you must marry both. And many people who come from the right geography and are competent exist on both sides.
Okay.
So you don't say that this one is existent here, therefore this one supersedes, because it's not true. In the side of our Bende brothers, highly educated, well qualified people with unbelievable capacity. So also on this other side. So if we are looking for people to lead this state, we should first look at who is this individual before we look at his geography. But you cannot divorce the geography of the individual from the totality of the consideration. They have to marry. If it's somebody from Ngwa or Kwa or whatever, you got the correct geography. But look at the individual too, because every section of this state has anybody that can lead this state, if we are honest.
This arrangement that you're revealing on the program today is based on was it based on a written document, like PDP will say, let's refer to the Charter of Equity? It is based on what now? Is it also the Charter of Equity?
The whole thing is very laughable, because those who are always referring to Charter of Equity were never even around, didn't even know what it was all about, had no idea of what it's about. You translate it to suit you at the time you need it. At other times, when it doesn't suit you, you say no. How do you really define the Charter of Equity in Abia State? There are things that are too wrong here. You know, this is my area. I am from Isialangwa North. My senatorial constituency is the one in the central. In that central, who are the political players at the topmost level? It comes for one group, so the other groups are not crying. So, Charter, what is equity? Let's even define equity. What is equity? Something has to be clear on the table. Let's look at it. If you are my brother,
yes,
I am governor, you are senator, my wife is House of Rep member, is that equity? Do you consider it equity? Is equity only political geography? It's not. It's not. Equity has to be looked at from its totality. So those canvassing it and crying over it, I don't think we have the moral values to decide what happens, except to look at the truth. What is the truth? There are two divisions in Abia State, the Aba and the Umuahia, the Bende. And once you say equity, then look at how many years have people in Aba zone been in power? How many years have people in Bende zone been in power?
So where then does competence comes in here?
Competence, I told you that when you look at the whole Abia State, there is no section that does not have highly competent people. My friends in Abia North are highly educated, well qualified, can be governor of this state even forever. So also on the other side, highly educated, well qualified, anybody aspiring to be governor of this state must have the capacity, must have what it takes, must have all the natural endowment of a ruler. So you don't say all the competent people exist in one side, all the incompetent people exist in one side. No, They are everywhere.
All right. It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flu 94.9 FM. Let's quickly take a time out, and when we return, we throw the lines open. We'll get to hear from you. What do you make of course, the conversation we've had today with Honorable Tony Enwereuzo, former lawmaker representing Abia North, Abia South Federal Constituency between 1999 and 2003, and also a former governorship aspirant in 2007 and also 2011 under the People's Democratic Party. It is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flu FM. Stay tuned. Yes, indeed, it is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flu 94.9 FM. This is the flow of God's own state. Of course, we've been speaking with Honorable Tony Enwereuzo, former lawmaker representing Abia South, Abia North Federal Constituency. That was between 1999 and 2003, former governorship aspirant 2007 and also 2011 under the People's Democratic Party. We've been talking politics, talking about the political development right here in Abia. So let's get to hear from you. What do you make of the conversation this morning? The lines are very much open. 0808 182 6949. 0811 605 2949. All right, we're also live on Facebook. You can drop your comments on Facebook. On our Facebook page, we have Flow 949 FM. Of course, you can join the conversation. So much to be talked about concerning the political scene in Abia State. Well, let's take your messages. We're going to be starting with the messages, then we run through the calls, and he's going to respond to your reactions on the show. This one says, good morning, sir. You people should talk about rebuilding Abia. That's coming from DJ Politics Val on our Facebook page. You people should talk about rebuilding Abia State. We're not supporting the government again. How will you react to that, Honorable?
Yeah, it's a frustration that people manifest after many years. There are things they would like to see that they are not seeing. And when they think they can't change it, they get frustrated, and this is what you get. This is the kind of feeling, and these feelings are expressed in the way they talk. You need government at all times, no matter what, but say improve government, because government must play a role in our lives. In which way, whatever way, government is still very important. But we have a chance to improve government. And as the elections are coming, let people not say, this is my brother, this is my friend. And then at the end of the day, when people give you peanut, you take it and say, well, I didn't have this one like yesterday.
Yes.
Then you forget that you are going to live with this same situation again for 4 years. It's time for our people to say, I don't need this gift. I need competence. I need people who have the heart of human beings to lead us and then bring what belongs to us on the table for the general good of the people.
All right, 0808 182 6949, 0811 605 2949. Also drop messages on 0906 510 8289. Kanu Zomba says, Abia, what is the acronym Abia? Abia represents in the creation of the state and where the two former governors and the current one emerge from. Let's be sincere to ourselves. I guess it's reacting to the issue of rotation that you talked about, the old Abia and the old Bender zone. That's coming from Kanu Zomba from Equator. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Yeah, good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
This is Mr. Chai calling from Omaya.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, all right. Mr. Undu says, good morning, guest in the studio. The problem is not the electorate. Do not wait for the politicians at the poll. The issue is that their wishes are twisted through rigging. That's another angle. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Michael.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Thank you, my brother. My name is Emmanuel. I'm coming from Abia.
You're welcome, comrade.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. They told me.
Yes.
Mazu.
Nde.
Salam Kasa.
Kamunan.
Really, Michael.
Yes.
Talk about the issue of what the statement created by the former governor of Abia State, Yoda Hamid Lodge. It is very pathetic that where we are is not where we're supposed to be. 2 days ago, they said the minister was in Magic FM, and I called him and I said the sentence. It's very, very touching. That some people are seeing the governorship place as a class 3 say something. Where somebody will come and say that he anointed somebody, he wants the power to go here. That is not what we are looking for now. They have failed us totally. PDP have ruled the Abia. There's no two ways about it. What we need to do is to look at somebody who has the charisma, the potential, the capacity, the capability to fix Abia. Pensioners are dying, workers are dying, contractors are polytechnic. Nothing is happening in the state. The state have crippled. We want to assure you, Michael, we must resist such political gambling they want to play again.
All right,
and it can never happen. Have a wonderful morning.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Now, I want to ask you from this message. This one says Abia, the acronym. If we are to go by your definition, we are living at Isiqueto. How will you react to that, Honorable?
Well, I don't think that is the way to look at it. The situation, the position of Isiqueto in Abia North, our Aro brothers are also part of Abia North. Bende proper is Abia North.
So will you classify Isiqueto to Old Bende?
Of course. That's the same way you say Okwa people are in Aba. The same thing.
Interesting. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform.
Good morning, sir. I say special good morning to Dr. Tony Enwereuzo.
Not doctor.
Honorable, yes.
I am Lobo. You are former junior staff in Union Bank, Party Road, Aba.
Yes.
I'm happy hearing your voice again. On the issue under discuss, sincerely speaking, and as an individual, the proclamation of Senator C.A. is in order. It's in tandem with the Abia equity. And I have to thank the present governor for having pulled Abia successfully and positively with mirage of developmental strides, constructions. If other governors before him had done what he has done, I think Abia could have been a small London.
All right.
I stand on the equity.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning to you. Can you change your location so that we can hear you well? We can have a smooth conversation. Thank you. Okay, we have to move on. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Mike.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning.
I am Izzy. I am calling from Umalugu specifically. Mike.
Yes.
I don't know why the technical issues came up in such a very important discussion you are having with Honorable in a matter that touches on the peace and stability of Abia State. I don't know whether I would suggest that this program should come up another time, should be scheduled, because
are you talking about
just touched on the heart of that has had to do with power rotation at Abia State. You have just said it for.
All right, I think.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You spoke about technical hitches there, but maybe I will talk to the management and see. I wasn't aware of any technical hitches, anyways, because I'm live in the studio here. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform.
Ikechukwu calling from Omaya.
You're welcome, Ikechukwu.
First of all, this equity
we should not be discussing it with the big vendor. A lot of new changes which have been created and carved out. In every state, we have 3 senatorial zones. Zoning system is a kind of a minority report to discipline the fear of majority domination over minority. It's just like a political equation. It should rotate between 3 senatorial zones: Abia North, Abia Central, Abia South. We in the Southeast, we are assumed to be minority in the political equation of Nigeria. We should be a regular example in practice this zoning system. We should be talking about our old bender. We have to mislead the students who are listening to it. Tomorrow now they will go and say, like, how many senators do you have in Abia State telling you old bender and the Kalanga? It's not done that way. We have a new political zones. We should be among the 3 political persons to remove that intimidation from the majority. Then this issue, the challenge is not Omahi himself, because he reacts by saying immunity. No. He's asking a presidential system of government is a party system.
All right, Chico.
It is only if it is an individual candidacy you are allowed to do something. You cannot take a platform, a party that many people.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform.
Hello.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Hello.
We can hear you loud and clear. Good morning to you. Okay, I think we have to move on. So, I would like you to react to the issue of because some persons are still very much not agreeing with you, have issues with the issue of old Aba, old Bende. It should be along the senatorial zone, and I'm sure you heard the reactions on the phone lines.
Yeah, the reactions are normal or natural. It depends on where you belong.
Okay.
If I'm in the old Bend, I will say the something. Here I'm saying what the truth is. At the beginning I said, let's establish what the truth is,
okay,
before we talk of who should rule and who should not. If we continue to gloss over the truth, then we are not really being charitable to ourselves. We will always highlight the acrimony that has no place in the life of the people. The Abab people, the Bende people are brothers. We have lived together. We even had one court at some point. Until 1922, the court was the same in Bende until we moved to Abba. So anybody bringing this up now wants to create disharmony between the two brothers who have lived peacefully with each other. The political expediency should not override the relationship that has continued to exist between the two groups of people. Those who have been in politics, benefited from politics, should not stoke amber of discord just to achieve a political direction which is not in the interest of Abia people. Okay. Let's keep our relationships together, because there's still tomorrow after this election, and let us not always play Godfather. At a point, you should ease off. Emma Obara's children are not here telling anybody what to do. J.O. Keziel's children are not here telling anybody what to do. Jaja Wachuku's children are not here telling anybody what to do. People should be allowed to develop. You can add and give advice, but don't enforce things and say, I am the father of this. Otherwise, the people from the Maya Paras family should rightfully be calling the shot in this state, because whatever is here now, Umaya province, which was created in 1959, Emaya Opara was instrumental to it. So, if you played one role or the other, it doesn't mean that forever and ever you continue to play the same role. Then we are not growing.
All right. Honorable, I want to really appreciate your time this morning. Interesting conversation we've had. We hope to have you some other time. I know this is a developing issue, and I know that the agitation for a governor from your side of the state will not stop here. It's an
No,
agitation.
I know that.
Definitely, I will still have more of you,
Sure.
so that we talk much more about some of these issues and what you make of and the reason why the governor should come from your side of the state. Thank you very much, Honorable Tony Enwereuzo, a former lawmaker representing Abia North, Abia South Federal Constituency between 1999 and 2003. Thank you for joining us this morning on the platform.
Thank you.
He's also a former governorship aspirant 2007 and 2011 under the People's Democratic Party. Many thanks to my producer Samson Eze and the guys behind the visuals on our Facebook page, Chinedu and Stanley. Do enjoy the rest of your day. You can catch the conversation again on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Flow FM TV, or on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Flow 949 FM. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Stay out of trouble. My name is Michael Oni.